Hi and welcome to my Python YouTube channel. It's awesome to have you here. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be great. And make sure to subscribe for future videos. I also have a blog at prosperacoder.com with lots of cool stuff, so feel free to check it out. In the previous part we were talking about colors in Kivy. In this part we'll add some colors in the Slugrace Kivy app. So let's open the settings.py file and run it. Let's resize the window. Now, this is what you see. The whole window is black. Now let's compare to the final version of the app. Here, the color is yellow. This color is applied to the root widget, so let's do it now. Here is the Kivy file. Let's find the root widget, settings screen over here, and let's draw a yellow rectangle the size of the root widget. So all we have to do is use the canvas instruction here for the root widget. So first we set the color. As you remember, we must set the color before we draw. And here, this color corresponds to a shade of yellow, the shade that we want to be applied in our application. And here's our rectangle. The position and the size of the rectangle are the same as of the root widget, so it will cover the whole of it. And now let's save and run. Good. So as you can see, now the color has changed to yellow. But now, with the yellow background color, there is very little contrast between the background and the text. This is because, as you could see before, the text color on our labels was the default white. Let's change it to something darker. As all our labels are instances of the regular label class, or one of its subclasses, let's set the color in the regular label class rule. So, in the settings screen, let's find the regular label class rule. Remember though that we're not changing the color property of the coordinate space context, but just the color property of the label. So here we have to use the color property. Here's the new color. And now let's save and run again. Good. Now the app looks much better. We can see the labels at least. Now the rounded rectangles around the main areas of the settings screen are a shade of brown. There are two locations in the Kivy file where the rounded rectangles are drawn. One on the players area and the other on the ending conditions area. Let's find these two locations and add the color instruction before the instruction that draws the shape. So here's the first location, the players area. And now let's add the color instruction before the instruction that actually draws the shape. So here. And here I set the color to 0.2, 0.1, 0, and 1, which is the shade of brown that we need. And the other location is in the ending conditions area. So we have to scroll all the way down almost. Here, rounded rectangle. So let's add the color over here to the same shade of brown. And now let's save and run the app. So as you can see, now the rounded rectangles are brown. Now we're done with the settings screen for now. Let's open the other screens. So erase screen, bet screen, results screen, and game over screen. To do the same changes there. Now in the Kivy files of the screens that I just mentioned, we'll add the yellow rectangle to the root widget, then change the color of the text on the regular label class, and finally change the color of the rounded rectangles. We'll be using the same colors as in the settings screen. Let's move on to the race screen first. Here's our race screen, the Python file, and let's run it. So let's add the colors. First of all, in the regular label class, we have to add a darker color for the text, just like we did before in the settings screen. So, color. Now, in the race screen, let's add the yellow rectangle on the root widget, set its color to yellow. So here is our race screen, and here's our canvas. Just like before, color and rectangle. Then we have the info, stats and buttons area, and here's our game info sub area. And here we have the line which is used to draw the round rectangle. We want the round rectangle to be brown, so let's add the color instruction here. Also just like we did before. Good. And we need the same color in the slug stats sub area and also in the player stats sub area. Good. Now let's move on to track. Here we also want the brown color for the round rectangle. And one more here for the bats. So too much indentation. Good. Now there is one more thing we have to fix. Here in the track area we have some labels which are not regular labels, just the standard Kivy labels, and we have to change their color to something darker. So let's set the text color, for example, to something like this on each of the labels. So here, 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 and here. Now it should work fine. Let's save the file, go back to the Python file and run. Good. Now you can see all the labels and we have all the colors that we wanted. So let's move on to the bat screen. If you run the bat screen, which is a separate app for now, it looks like so. So again, it's just black. We don't have any rounded rectangles here, so the only things that we have to take care of are the background color and the text color on the regular label class. So let's go to the Kivy code and make these necessary changes. First, let's set the color of the regular label to something darker. Now, just a reminder, in the final version, the regular label and the other widgets will be defined in one file, in the widgets file, so we won't have to make these changes in each of the separate files. But for now, let's leave it as is. And here in our root widget, we have to draw the yellow rectangle in the background, so let's use the canvas instruction here on the root widget. Color, this is the same shade of yellow as before, and here's a rectangle positioned and sized exactly the same as the root widget. So let's save and run. So now the bat screen is yellow. Good. Let's move on to the results screen. which now looks like so. So it's black, and all we have to do is first change the color of the regular label text. So here, and change the color of the root widget by adding a rectangle to it. So here we have the result screen, our root widget, and here is our rectangle, which is yellow. So let's save and run. Good. It's yellow now. Finally, the game over screen. Now it looks like so. So it's black and the labels are white. So all we have to do is change the color of the background and of the text on the regular label class. So let's change the color to something darker, like this. Here we have our Kivy file, and here's our regular label class color, and the next thing we have to change is the background color. So let's use the canvas instruction to draw a yellow rectangle on the game over screen widget, which is our root widget, like so. Let's save, run, and now it's yellow, like all the other screens.
Okay, that's it for this video. If you like it, a thumbs up would be great. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're welcome to do so. Thanks for watching.